Keep overlooking life, but that's the biggest blessing. Just engage with who you are and throw the biggest wedding. Just think of this as food for thought, you feel I'm overstepping. I got a good degree in knowledge if it's ever question. I'd rather see you shining than a diamond on.
Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Everybody Has One, the podcast about anything and everything presented by LiveOK. LiveOK is centered around promoting mental health awareness. Visit Shop LiveOK, that's ShopLiveOK.com, where the proceeds go towards making a difference. Now let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here with another episode 12 or 13, depending on how you're counting. I know the last one was 11.5, I believe. I may be wrong. I'm starting to lose count. I feel like I'm gonna get to 50 and be thinking it's 47, but we're still chugging along. We're still pushing along. We did have a little bit of a skip week. Just wasn't in the podcasting, sharing my opinion mood. I had a interview lined up, um, fell through. We just pushed it back. So I just decided I'm gonna skip that week, come back this week, and there's a few updates I want to share with you here shortly. Um, but just to let y'all know, this is going to be season 2 or chapter 2 of my podcast. Right now, as you can see, everybody has one. So in the creation of my pod, I did look for similarities, trademarks, copyrights, uh, Google searches, podcast searches, Amazon searches, pretty much any search that you could just look up and try to find if anybody has the name that you're thinking of, like most people would do when they are creating their podcast. So I looked up to see if everybody has one, and apparently everybody has one is in use, but it's a tad different but highly similar, and it wasn't done maliciously because I did not find the podcast prior to my creation, prior to the previous 12 episodes. um, so mine is called Everybody Has One, and there's another podcast out there called Everybody Has One Podcast. The full title is Everybody Has One Podcast, and my full title is just Everybody Has One. Um, so there it is different but highly similar. So I am going to be doing a name change. I was thinking Everybody Has Something to Say, and I can just change. You see where it says one, I can just change that to STS. We're not, because I made it myself. I don't want to have to take everything off and redo it. I want to keep the Everybody Has portion, and maybe just switch out the bottom. So right now, Everybody Has Something to Say is the working title that I'm coming up with, but I just did a search, and Everyone Has Something to Say is a podcast that's out there. And there's the difference between everybody and everyone. So it just depends on how unique I want to be. I mean, if anything, I'll just come up with something highly unique. I mean, I could just use my name and call it a day, but I wanted to have some meaning to it, because everybody has one. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a problem. Everybody has something to say. So that's why I came up with Everybody Has One, and often, more often than not, a idea that you may have is most likely going to be similar to somebody else's idea. I know there's inventions I done thought of in my past that I'm just looking at and be like, dang, I thought of that. But they probably thought of it, shoot, years before I thought of it. They just actually made it come to fruition. So that being that, we're going to change the name eventually. We're going to rock with Everybody Has One until I figure it out. So the title below is going to be Everybody Has One. Um, and when I figure it out, I have been thinking about it. When I figure it out, then we'll come with a another title, and be like, hey everybody, welcome back to Everybody Has Blank, or hey everybody, welcome back to the Thomas Londell. No, okay, for my whole government, I'm gonna skip that out. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Mind Your Business. This is mine. Long ass title that I just came up with at the top of my brain, and nobody's gonna think it is because it has too many words. Podcast, right? All right. But that being said, like I said, just to reiterate, we are going to be changing the name eventually. So just be on the lookout for that. All the links would still be the same. The obviously social media handles will change. It still will be the same social media page. Just the handles will change, but we're only at, I believe, 57 subscribers. We need to get those up, and about 60 followers. So it would be, it's better to do the change now, while we're still starting up, than to do it uh at 1,000 plus followers, and then you know all my constant views are looking for, everybody has one, and then they're like, dang, I can't find it. Did he quit? But no, just gonna do a change. So we'll have that change, hopefully by next episode. But if not, if y'all have some ideas, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. Make sure y'all hit all the buttons. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for the support. All right, and y'all know how we start off. I know the last couple times the scheduling, I was recording in the morning, so I wasn't drinking. I'm not trying to come at y'all like I'm an alcoholic, just drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it is officially in Central Standard Time, the end of Easter. So I hope y'all had a happy Easter. But as always, as usual, not always, 'cause we not alkies over here. If y'all are alkies, get some help. There's other ways to, make you feel good. Yeah. Okay. So we're drinking on Nearest Green. I see it. Nearest Green. All right, got it poured up. And since like I said previously, this is going to be season 2, chapter 2. I know the name isn't changed yet, but there's some new things I want to bring towards y'all. We are going to be having a guest on next season. No, I'm sorry. We are going to be having a guest on next episode. I don't know exactly who it's going to be. It may be multiple people. It may be one person. Maybe a female finally. We shall see. But in the new season, we're going to have new segments. The first segment is going to be giving y'all a bio of what we're drinking on. Just a brief bio. I'm not getting paid for this, so I'm just gonna give y'all a brief rundown. Especially if the drink that we're drinking is significant in some type of way, and then we're gonna be doing current events. Um, Not necessarily in this episode, but we're gonna try to aim at some current events, and we're gonna be doing a drink bio. All right. So like I said, we were drinking on Nearest Green. A brief rundown of Nearest Green, just a brief synopsis. Nathan Nearest Green, also known as Uncle Nearest, or I guess the whiskey's her name is Uncle Nearest. But he was born in 1820 in Maryland, holds the distinction of being the first known African American master distiller in the U.S. He was enslaved by a firm called Landis and Green. He was leased to Reverend Dan Call, a preacher and distiller in Lincoln County, Tennessee. On Call's farm, Green mentored a young Jasper Newton, also known as Jack Daniel, imparting his whiskey making knowledge and techniques. When Daniel established his own distillery in 1866, he appointed Green as his first master distiller. Green's descendants continued his legacy, with multiple generations working at the Jack Daniels distillery. Green is also associated with the development of the Lincoln County process of a charcoal filtration method that defines Tennessee whiskey. So, got an African American man. We are pivotal in a lot of things. We don't get a recognition, but just a brief rundown of Uncle Nearest. He was pivotal in the creation of Jack Daniels, as y'all heard, and he just went on to make his own under his own name. I guess it's not him himself, because he was born in 1820. So his family continued his legacy by creating um, the nearest green distillery, and it's based out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. I'm reading that. And this is strong too. This is 84 proof, 42% alcohol. Whew. The thing only poured like a shot's worth because be dying in here. Mm. All right, so that's a brief rundown of that. I'm gonna have to cut this down, the intro down, because we're already at too many minutes. All right, so we're gonna be getting into a couple of things. Let's see, what do I want to start with What do I want to start with right now? First topic. First topic we're gonna be talking about is my solution to the senseless killing, senseless violence, gun violence, that's plaguing, that has plagued the world, um, and more specifically that we are more familiar with is the U.S. Um, just since it's gun violence, random acts of violence have has taken many people's lives unnecessarily, way too soon, children's lives, young adults' lives, just people of many ages, ethnicities, ranges. Just somebody has been affected in some way, shape, or form by random acts of violence, random gun violence. So my solution, which I think is the best solution possible, is that we put all the guns down. You know, it's okay to arm yourself in case of intruders or if somebody decided to, uh, come attack you in like a school or something. Fighting fire with fire in that sense is understandable and it's acceptable. You have to defend yourself. But the random acts of violence, like somebody, partially random, like somebody hurt somebody and they're like, since you hurt me, man, I gotta take your life. I gotta kill you. Or I gotta end yours with this gun. My advice is the advice that was given years back by Pops on Friday. He says, son, you win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. And with that, put the guns down and start boxing people. If somebody wrongs you, box them. Run the ones. You don't need to jump nobody. If he bigger than you, then get in the gym and box. It's easy. It's simple. Shoot, sanction it. Be like, yo, man, you was talking mad disrespectful. Cause right nowadays, you disrespect somebody, they wanna, put two in you. But if somebody wrongs you under the Pops theory, then you be like, you know what? I don't like the way you disrespected me. Let's set up a date, a time where you can run me my ones. Or you don't gotta set up a date and time. Or you be like, yo, son, meet me right here, right now. So run me my fade. If you lose, then you lose. Then you need to work on your craft. You need to go figure out how to box. You need to go take some lessons. And if you can't box, go do some karate. Learn some self defense. Do some taekwondo. Do some Krav Maga. Do something other than shoot. If you want to shoot, at least learn how to shoot. I'm not condoning shooting, but at least learn how to shoot. Go to a range, learn gun safety, learn the implications of your actions. Cause y'all not really be thinking. Y'all be like, yeah, I got this switch on me. I'm about to go run down this block, this da 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 da. All this music, affecting your brain. You got to keep one on you. Understandably, you got to protect yourself, but guns are mainly meant for that. Solely meant to protect yourself. If you're using it right, it's meant for protection. You got to protect yourself. Understandably. If you're going to war, if you're in the army, then you're still using it to protect yourself, but you're also using it to, do what you got to do. And that's the only real acceptable reason for it. And I don't condone war. All right. It's just, I'm I don't know what the word is, but I think we should all, live in peace and harmony and have a utopia, and there'd be no war, no violence, no nothing, and we just all be Gucci. But for those that don't want to be Gucci, run the fade, run the 101. Shoot, and if y'all a gang, then you get your top 5 people, and they get their top 5 people, and then y'all run the 5-on-5. And if one person, you know, is better than them other 4, then you just knock that person out. You be like, dang, you knock my guy out, you knock that person out. Then it's like a brawl of those 5. But at the end of the day, you may have a broken bone, broken nose, you may be bloody wounded, but you'll wake up the next day, and you could wake up in your bed. Maybe you wake up in a hospital bed, but you'll wake up in like a somewhat comfortable bed, not a metal bed with another, dude on a bunk when y'all 20 plus years old, and y'all, you got bunk beds. Just, I think everybody should just start running fades. And when I was thinking about it, I thought about it previously, but it just recollected in my brain. If y'all haven't seen the movie Troy with Brad Pitt, y'all need to go back and watch it. But there was a scene at the beginning where Boagrius came out, and then Brad Pitt Achilles came out. Well, he came out a little late because he was sleeping with some Johns. But Boagrius, there's like, all right, we don't have to do all this senseless bullshit. We can just get your best man, and I get my best man, and whoever wins, that wins the war, or wins this little battle we got going on. So Boagrius came out, all stocky, crazy looking with his spears, and then they went and got Achilles, just clean Achilles came out, and it's like, hey, Achilles, take care of Boagrius. And Boagrius is big, stocky dude, do a thing. Achilles like, bam, get out of here. Boagrius threw another, he's like, bam, get out of here. Ran up on him, right in the neck, done. One easy blow. And he's like, is there anybody else? Like, who else wants this? Y'all don't want this. The little battle was over. I just won. Let's do that. Everybody get somebody that could box for them, and then they put them in the ring. Yeah, that's how we handle all beefs and grievance moving forward. No more shooting. Just start boxing people. I know my analogy, or yeah, whatever I just said. I think it's an analogy. My analogy was swords, and and ended with somebody dying, but the concept is there. So start boxing people. And Boagrius was big, stocky, over Achilles, but he still got hit. So even if you small and you know how to box, you got moves, do that. So yeah, moral story: start boxing, stop shooting, stop stabbing, stop doing stupid stuff. Think about the consequences of your actions. And to leave you with it again, you lose some, you win some. Oh, wait, pause. You win some and you lose some, but you live. That's the main part. But you live, and then you live to fight another day. So we'll leave it with that. All right, my second topic. What we gonna go into? Uh, Rolling off of that, uh, people should start boxing. You know what else people should start doing? Knowing who they are sleeping with, knowing who your partner is. And even there's some cases where you know who they are, y'all still, wow. Child abuse, both sexually, mentally, physically, wrongs on all levels. And there's not a but coming. It's wrong on all levels. Why is it a thing? Like, and it's not just male or female. It's both. Something's wrong with people's minds, that makes them be like, you know what? I'm gonna abuse this child. Like I said, sexually, mentally, and physically. I'm just gonna say abuse. That there's something in their heads like, I'm gonna abuse this child. There should be I know CPS is a thing, but there should be like an annual checkup, like physical, where a CPS person comes to and just investigates, not investigates, just checks on the welfare of every single child until they turn 18 in the world. If you have a child, there should be a person that comes shoot January 3rd, and then the next month, or not the next month, then the next year, on a random day, just a random yearly or a random annual check-in, where you just be like, hey, you okay? Is everything still intact? Have you been touched? Have you been uh abused in any way, shape, or form? There should be a check-in. There should be some checks and balances. Not sorry, I'm thinking something, but there should be some checks in place where we are taking care of our children. Cause I'm on Facebook and I'm reading way too many stories of so and so got abused, or shoot, back home, like four of my teachers that was in my proximity done got um charged with some abuse allegation of minors, of previous students. What is going on? Like, y'all supposed to be uh educating, y'all supposed to be mentoring, y'all supposed to be parents outside of the home, and y'all out here just doing nonsense. Like, some really wrong with some people. And like I don't think people got impulse control. If your impulses is telling you to do some nonsense, some like really off with y'all. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if y'all like, I'm not getting this love from the partner that I had, or y'all just single and y'all see this this little uh, this younger individual, and y'all like, this person can satisfy the needs that I'm not getting at around my age or at home. Like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird activity. Something's definitely wrong, with people's minds. And like my podcast is based around mental health, and it has to be a mental problem, that people are taking. People are doing this, and I hope we figure out some way to put it to a complete end. I hope there is some way that we can do it. And I honestly think that if we do annual check-ins, just for little girls, the doctor go in, make sure everything's intact, um, make sure nothing's been touched, nothing, you know, no bruises, no nothing like that. And for little boys, same thing. Go to the doctor, make sure everything's good. You should even go to a therapist. Do like one therapy session a year. Just make sure they talking to someone. Not really a therapist, because people don't. But just somebody that's checking on the well being of um the younger people. Um, 'Cause I'm tired of seeing that out the shoot after the first one. I'm tired of seeing it. So I'm just tired of seeing all this stuff is happening to um to the younger people. I hope if you have the uh if you have the thoughts of doing something to a minor, you get help. Cause if you think about it, you're not in trouble. If you act on it, you're in trouble. And you should be. So if you're thinking about it, you be like, yo, these thoughts aren't pure. I should go, seek help. And hopefully there's a way to help you. If you are working around minors, you need a new job. Your job should be strictly around adults. Your job should be taking the garbage. Or your job should be sitting behind a desk and just chilling. We don't want no more Jareds. Uh yeah, that's wild. So yeah, I hope we figure that out. So start boxing, start doing yearly check-ins. That's where we're at right now. One of my main subjects that I wanted to talk about, and this can be a two-part thing if y'all want me to like run some numbers, but I was going to do some research, but I don't really need it. I mean, if y'all want like actual numbers, then I can do some research and bring it into a part two. But excuse me, I don't really need to do the research because if you live in the United States, you know that everything I'm about to say is 100% factual, unless you're, buku rich. Uh, why is the cost of living and dying so expensive? To give birth at a hospital, before I get to this, I had to touch on this because I thought about it. This is not a um political show. It's not or podcast. It's not political whatsoever. Oh well, I'm sorry, not whatsoever. This is not political. And when I say this isn't political, like we're not talking about the president. We're not talking about government officials. We're not getting into anything like that. We're not talking about policies or anything like that. But politics is involved in a lot of everything. It's involved in everything pretty much. So that being said, this is a tad political. Um, so to give birth, you have to pay thousands of dollars. I don't have any kids. I have a nephew. I'm not familiar with my my brother's financial situation. I don't ask, if he needs anything, he's more than welcome to ask, and then I'm gonna give it as I have. If I have, you can have. Tangent. Let's get away from that. Um, but to give birth in a hospital costs thousands upon thousands of dollars. Like you see videos on TikTok, Instagram, whatever social media you use about rundowns of bills, of like if they're hospital bills. You're getting charged for the Pampers, and like you can get a pack of Pampers. I'm just guessing. You can get a pack of Pampers for like $20, but according to the hospital, that pack of Pampers like $400. You get in charge for the formula. You get in charge for the shots. You get in charge for the blankets, the swaddling. You get in charge for all of that just to have a baby. And that's for the people that want to have a baby. There's a lot of instances, especially nowadays, where you're being forced to have a baby, but you're not getting any help after having that baby. Like you get pregnant, you don't want the baby, but according to new laws, you can't, get rid of that baby. So now you got to bring that baby to term, and hopefully everything's healthy. Hopefully everything's great. Um, Internally, hope the baby comes out great. But now you're stuck with a multi-thousand-dollar uh hospital bill. You gotta buy you're buying a car to have a baby. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. Um, and I guess that's primarily in the U.S. where healthcare isn't free. Healthcare isn't universal. There some certain presidents, wanted it to be universal, tried to, make it affordable, but some presidents was like, nah, fudge all that noise. We're not going, I want, the doctors to make all this money. So a lot of the rules in place are not even really rules. The structure of a lot of things are meant to keep people's pockets full, to keep the wealthy wealthy, and to keep the poor poor. And that's just step one. You don't have the choice to whether or not to keep your child nowadays. You don't have a choice whether or not to pay um for that, you don't have the choice whether or not how much money you're going to have to pay for the birth of that child. And then you're going to have to pay for the schooling of that child. Public school, yes, free. You got to pay for the lunches. But prior to public school, you have to maintain a job, and then you got to pay whichever daycare you're taking is to. Hopefully, you got a retired parent so that the grandparents are taking care of the child for maybe a little bit of money. But child care, I know one of my friend had her child. She was paying like 250 plus a week for child care, paying 1,000 a month for daycare. So you gotta pay 1,000 for daycare. You gotta pay 1,000 for your rent. You gotta pay some other number. Shoot, let's just say 500 for hopefully food. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too little. 500 for food for that entire month for the both of you. If you have a third, then the adult or two adults, y'all can help with the bills. And the average person isn't making this much money. And that's just 20. So just the daycare, the rent, and the food, that's $2,500 a month. That's just going directly to all that. No free stuff. Like, that's not calculating all the extra stuff. This is, just numbers that's out there. So this is going to be long. I'm not going to make it long, but y'all understand. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why is it so expensive? Like, it like deters you from wanting to make it. Like, I want to have a son or daughter soon enough, but like, can I afford it? That's the main reason why some people don't be having kids. They're like, I can't afford it. And I know I said son first, and I do want to have a son. I kind of need to have a son because I'm the last of my last name. There's no other boys. Once I go, if there's not a boy that can, continue the last name, unless a daughter, keeps the last name and, continues it, then I'm the last of my last name. Uh, which would be sad. So I need to have like 5 boys and, have them all disperse and make more of us. Uh, but yeah. So school's expensive, daycare is expensive, hospitals are dumb expensive. Thank you for, the VA for helping me, because if I had to do, I probably wouldn't do any, probably wouldn't know what my blood work is. I probably wouldn't be doing annual checkups. And I saw a report, I saw a post the other day where a guy went in to do like a checkup, and then since he was already there, he was like, "Can you do my blood work?" And the blood work was like $12,000. Like, why are you paying? Like, why do you what you $12,000 to take the blood out and to just make sure everything it don't make sense. Why is it $12,000? Yeah, y'all gotta show me a breakdown of like who's getting portions of this $12,000. Just to and analyze some blood. Before I get into the next expensive thing, why insurance? Insurance is the biggest scam. You can't tell me that it's not. And it don't, and even when you have insurance, it doesn't help you the way that you want it to. Let's ignore health insurance because that's a bigger beast that I don't want to get. Well, let's jump into health insurance real quick. So you telling me that if I'm paying however much health insurance is, let's just say let's just say 2,000 a year. I feel like that's on the high end. So let's say 2,000 a year. Maybe that's on the low end. So let's say 2,000 a year. So you're paying. I feel like it's on the low end. So you're paying 2,000 a year for health insurance. And health insurance, makes medications and checkups cheaper. You only got to pay a portion depending on um what insurance you have. So you're paying all this money for your insurance, and then you get diagnosed with something like cancer or something, and insurance doesn't cover it. You telling me you've been paying all this money to make sure that you are insured to get some health care, but your insurance provider doesn't provide it? Or it's not going to pay like you need a crazy surgery that you was like, maybe one day in life I'm gonna need this surgery, so let me get this nice high quality premium insurance. But then you actually have to get this surgery now, but it's not covered. That is some bullshit. And I don't know, like, y'all remember the movie John Q with Denzel Washington? I don't know if it was strictly insurance, but his son needed a heart, and he needed all this money, and he needed a donor heart, and like I guess like, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm guessing he wasn't covered or something like that, and he wasn't rich enough, so he didn't get the heart as soon as possible. Just like, you know what, give him my heart. Like, why does it have to come to that? Like, why? Like, I know why. Rich people gotta stay rich. That's the reason. But the like health insurance, understandable. Dental insurance, understandable to a point. Car insurance, now that's some bullshit. I have a perfect driving record. My driving record is great. But my insurance keeps going up and up and up. I called my insurance and say, hey, why did my insurance go up like $700? It's like, well, the cost of fixing your car went up. What that got to do with me? I've been paying y'all all this money. Why y'all need it? Well, like, just because, I don't, inflation? So y'all gonna inflate my insurance too? Shoot. I remember when insurance was low, was nice and cheap. Now you gotta pay so much. Why? It doesn't. A lot of this doesn't make. It's so expensive. Like, living is so damn expensive. It just don't make sense why it's so expensive, and people just be getting along fine. Hopefully you got a good job that take care of most of this. Not everybody has a great job that takes care of most of this. It's stupid. But like my main point though is, like, let's just say you you are you stop driving around 75. Just throwing it out. You stop driving around 75, but you started driving at 18. Well, no, let's say you started uh paying your own insurance at 20. So for 55 years, that math is math, right? So for 55 years, you've been paying insurance timely, no accidents, no nothing. You paid 55 years worth of insurance. Do I got math? I'm gonna try to do some math real quick. All right, so I'm gonna have to ask Siri. Oh, no, I can Google it. All right, so you pay 55 years worth of insurance, and let's say insurance, stay at an even 1500. No, yeah, let's say 1500. 1500 is on the low end, so let's say you pay 1500 for 55 years. Where's the times button? 1500. You paid almost $83,000 in insurance. You gave away $83,000 to a company for a what if, and the what if never happened. Why don't you get that 83,000 back? And you're not even really paying. You paying for peace of mind, I guess, but you just paying for the customer service people. You paying You paying the salaries of the customer service people. You paying the salaries of the claims people. You paying the salaries of the salesman. You paying the salaries of the CEO. You paying the salary of everybody. For your peace of mind, for the what if, but the what if never happens. But you don't get that 83 on the low end back. Insurance is a scam. If y'all never see me again, and it's cause I said this, y'all, it's on tube, it's on the podcast, it's everywhere unless they delete it. But insurance is a scam. This is sounding like a conspiracy theorist pod, but it's not. It's truth and honesty, and it's ridiculous. You paying 83,000. That's on the low. You're giving away money that you're not getting back. Why can't you just, personally save that money, put it in the bank. Be like, all right, I'm gonna put 500 away. 500 away. Damn, got in an accident. The accident cost $2,000. Oh, I only got 1,000. Now you gotta get some more money. Maybe you take out a little bit of a loan. But I still think taking out a loan is easier and probably cheaper, excuse me, than paying insurance year by year by year by year by year for the what if. And even if you paying that insurance, and let's say for some reason the claims person finds you at fault, then you're not like completely covered or something. Okay, let's move away from that. And to end my cost of living and dying, funerals are also dumb expensive. You're paying thousands of dollars to bury a box. I understand there's more sentimentalness into it. There's a lot that goes into it. I understand that. I do. I'm not taking away from that. But when I die, when I go, I want to be cremated. I don't want to be put in a box. I don't like dark spaces. I don't like enclosed spaces. I don't like being underground. And even if, as it comes to a point where I'm like buried alive, y'all thought I was dead, but I'm not. I know that's why they got wakes and all that stuff. But I don't want to imagine myself in a box underground. Spread my ashes in the ocean. Spread my ashes on the mountain. Spread my ashes on a tree. Shoot, bury me and be like, you see that tree outside? Great 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 grandchild of mine. That's your great 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 grandfather. Um, he's in the soil. He's that tree. I don't want to be put in a box. I don't want to be put in a box. If y'all want to give me a tombstone, put my tombstone on the tree that y'all buried me in. Or, put me in a little, like, spread my ashes with all each household, and I'll just be a tiny ghost in everybody's household in a little bottle of ashes. But burials are expensive. Funerals are expensive. Birth is expensive. It's expensive to live. It's expensive to die. Make sure y'all living right, doing doing great things with your life. Um, yeah. All right. So we're at 40 some odd minutes. I know there's a lot that I'm gonna have to trim out cuz I was pausing through a lot of this. So let's try to get it under an hour. Um so I'm going to end with what's coming up in the next I believe week or so. The um the draft. So this is kind of a current event. But it's mainly talking about the ignorance that a lot of y'all have. Y'all just ignorant. And ignorance is lack of knowledge. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all just be commenting feelings. I feel that this, and this. Shut up. Shut up. And I'm only talking about two people. And it goes towards a lot of people, but I'm only talking about two people. Every time I'm on YouTube Every time I'm watching some sports broadcast, y'all are only really talking about two people, Shador and Travis. Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter, if y'all didn't know who I was talking about. Can Travis Hunter play both ways? He's not going to play football anymore if he can't play both ways. Blah, 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 both ways. This man played both ways in high school. He played both ways in college and won the Heisman and was like one of the, if not the most decorated individual in college sports last year. He just got his jersey. I don't believe that their jersey should have been retired, but not just yet. Maybe like 5 years from now. But uh RG3 got a statue, so why can't their jerseys be retired? Um hey, they wanted to be retired, they want to be retired. But y'all keep saying Travis can't do this, Travis can't do that, and he's proved y'all wrong on every level. So let that man live. If he wants to play both sides, if he thinks that he can do it, let him do it. If y'all think that he can't do it, who cares about y'all thoughts, about y'all beliefs, about y'all feelings? If this grown man thinks that he can, cover Justin Jefferson, and then on the other side beat Jalen Ramsey, then let him do what he gotta do. If he can't, then hopefully that he feels that within himself that he can't do it. That he's like, you know what? Maybe I should just stick to receiver. But if Deion Sanders played both receiver and defensive back and was fairly well, he's a Hall of Famer, so he was great at either or position. Even if even if y'all just give him sets, and he doesn't have to be a starter on both sides. He doesn't have to be, but he can still, get his reps. Maybe he'd be like number one option on offense and cover like the third best receiver on defense or something like that. He don't got it, like, and maybe he do, like uh a package on offense, a package on defense, a package on offense, like, but like there's the GMs will understand that y'all are drafting this person because he wants to play both sides, and if y'all draft this person and be like, nah, you can't play both sides, and he's just gonna be like, you know what, I retire. I hope he does. Hopefully he doesn't do that, and hopefully y'all give this man a chance. If he has the lungs and motor of a horse, then let that man have the lungs and motor of a horse and play both sides. Y'all just need to stop thinking with y'all feelings and what y'all haven't seen done, and let it be done. Shoot, I wish nothing but the most success for both him and Shador. And y'all talking about Shador's cockiness. Where was that at when Johnny Manziel's bum ass was going into the NFL? Never read a playbook a day in his life. And I think Johnny was great in college. Shador was great in college, and I hope that he's going to be great in the NFL, and I think that he will. And I hope that he gets like tutelage from a vet that helps him be the best that he can be. But y'all just saying dumb stuff. I don't want him to be my quarterback because he's too cocky. This man never heard of humble in his life. Have y'all not met his dad? Have y'all not seen him play? This man is good. He's accurate. I think he's a tad bit like slow, like speed wise. I've said it before, but you don't have to, like, mobile quarterbacks are great. I was a mobile quarterback. I still am in flag. Like I like to run, but I really love to sit there and throw. But not everybody has that time to do that. But that's his best skill set. He's elusive. He can get out of the pocket, find a way. He's shown that. But his skill set is a pocket quarterback, and he hasn't had a pocket. Have y'all seen the games? The line was freaking toilet paper. So he has to get out. He has to do, but his his persona, his cockiness has nothing to do with his gameplay. And stop, pause. You want him to be confident. The man's confident. He grew up rich because of his father, but he still earned every position that or every spot that he got. I don't care if his dad was the head coach, he still earned it. And even if the second person behind him was better, maybe, and they left, maybe we don't know. So I can't even really get into that. But like his record up until like the first year of Colorado has been winning. So y'all just dumb. Stop talking. Stop commenting things. Just watch and learn. Watch and listen. If he turns out to be a bust, then he's a bust. Some of y'all may be able to say I told y'all so, maybe. But a lot of the times, if you're put in a bad position, like there hasn't been like a aside from maybe Baker, there hasn't been a good quarterback in Cleveland. The Jets. When was the last time they had a good quarterback? You get put in a bad position. You're not gonna be able to do what you need to do. Like all these quarterbacks that are like veterans that are having like breakout years are on new teams with better situations. So hopefully both Travis and Shador, hopefully everybody that gets drafted finds themselves in a good situation where they can be the best player that they can be and have continued success. I wish them nothing but success, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I just need to stop being stupid. All right. So we covered a lot of topics tonight. And I hope y'all uh got some good education, because I'm here to educate, motivate, not to influence, just to be, you know, a source of greatness. I'm mumbling, I'm saying random things. It's late. I have to finish this, which I probably won't. I might just pour that bitch back in, cause it's strong. It's good. It's just strong, and I haven't drank in a while, and I don't really. Well, that's a lie. Let me stop lying. Motivation for your day. Learn something new, and you could learn something new today. You can learn something new this week. You can learn something new this month, and that something new doesn't have to be a new trade. It doesn't have to be uh something grand. You could just learn something random, something new. You see a bird outside. What bird? What type of bird was that? You see a random insect. What type of insect was that? Who was the 17th president? Who was the 22nd vice president? What led up to the Civil War? What led up to World War II? Educate yourselves in something other than new TikTok dances. Educate yourselves. Then it's not really educated. Well, if you're learning, you're educating. So learn something new. Learn something new. Try something new. Don't be stagnant. Yeah. Learn something new. Try something new. Don't be stagnant. Start boxing. Protect the children. Yearly check-ins. Know who you're making a child with. Know who you're sleeping next to. Know who's educating your children. Make the cost of living lower. Make it livable. The life shouldn't be birth, learn, school, birth, learn, work, die. It should be birth, learn, have fun, work, have fun, work, have fun, work, have fun, work. Retire, enjoy your later years in life, pass. Not struggle to, stay on top. Not having to see older people in their 80s and 90s being greeters at Walmart because they need a little bit of a check just to, stay afloat. Some people just doing it, get out the house. But when life gets too expensive, you need to find a little part-time job. And stop being ignorant towards things you don't know. Lack of knowledge. Ignorance. Stop being ignorant. Stop being judgmental. Stop portraying your weaknesses on other people. It was in the Pursuit of Happiness when Will Smith was talking to his son, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much when people can't do something, they want to tell you you can't do it. Prove them people wrong. And with that, I leave you. I hope to see y'all next episode. Keep liking, keep following, continue to be a subscriber. Um share the pod, share any posts. I'm gonna be trying to do like daily videos, not technically clips. I'll try to still get some clips out there, but like daily videos, just so y'all know y'all get the pure authentic me, some motivation, some life-changing words of wisdom. What if I help one person, I'm doing awesome. If I help two, then I'm doing fantastic. If I help the world, then I did my job. And I'm humbling and I'm rambling and I'm doing everything that I am. That that I love y'all. Stay blessed. Love. All right, real quick. I did sign off already. So the mic might be in a different position. The lighting may be a little bit different. I was closing up everything, but I forgot to mention something very important has happened. One of my closest friends, one of my best friends, got engaged over the past weekend. And he turned 30. So welcome to the 30 Club. Congratulations. I have nothing but love for you. I wish you nothing but success in your future together. This is to Chadwin Williams and Shyla. I don't know your last name off the top of my head. Soon to be Williams. But I'm happy for y'all. Happy birthday. I've already said everything that I need to say to you. But if you haven't heard me say it enough, I love you. I'm proud of you, and I wish nothing but the best for you. Um, so with that, if y'all see him comment or if I tagged him, go show him some love. Uh, but yeah, all right, I signed off already. So thanks for listening to the Ramblings of a Madman. If you want to come on and have a conversation, feel free to message me at the email in the bio. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Life is about choices. It would be great if you choose to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe and be great. Ain't perfect, but ain't no complaining. I know my shit is different. I just can't explain it. Food for thought.